Hello friends, I'm Bali Vedi, clinical psychologist. I work with Sukoon Psychotherapy Center and I run this awareness program by the name of Sukoon Pledge to Seek Help. Today I'm going to talk about death and mourning. Death, completely a stage where we know that person who's gone would never come back. Do we all react similar to it? Had we done that, we would have been robots. We all react very differently to it. Some cry, some don't. Some find meaning in their loss by accepting it in terms of age, relief from the illness, finish of their responsibilities, and some find it difficult when it is an accidental or a sudden death and they don't have any reason behind it or wanted that connect to continue. So nobody of us behaves similarly in that. But there is a very constant ritual around how in a certain society a certain death would be mourned. It is almost looked down upon if your mourning is different. We know that this concept occurs and it's even brought up in the movies like Rudali, where professional mourners are called in for the mourning. But that doesn't standardize how people mourn. Why do we put a pressure on people to mourn in a specific way? There are people who would like to mourn differently. There are people who are not able to mourn the same way because of what they are, in what position they are. Like I've got a client over here who lost his father around 4-5 years back. He did lose the father because of an illness. It is not that it was sudden, but unable to accept that loss. And has been in depression and not been able to work completely professionally on for himself. Yes, he's been able to survive because of his family circumstances where he still has finances around it, but not been able to move on. Then I've seen a person in my personal life who could, on a sudden death of her own father at a very early age, could strongly accept that as a decision of God and could strongly move ahead because of her spiritual backing and her bent towards spiritual understanding of life. And her struggles are different. It is not that she is not struggling with that loss, but her struggles are very different. To a friend of mine whose family still has her Facebook on, including us, who sometimes like visiting her back on the Facebook, and her account has never been discontinued, so that there's always a sense of connect with her, and none of us would want to completely lose that connect. It becomes difficult when people put a pressure that everybody has to accept losses in the similar way. Some people, I had a client who had come to me and had said that ever since I lost my grandmother, I have never cried. And I think the biggest thing that we worked on in therapy was allowing him to experience sadness. Because for him, the grandmother was the mother figure. And he said, after that, I've stopped crying. I've stopped stopped at all reacting to any loss. For me, everything is fine. Indeed, I could not even completely cry for my grandmother's loss. So we need to respect this different spaces, this different desires of individual to experience loss and their own struggles around the loss, because loss is never easy. So how can we define that, it has to be, means I as a therapist never had a formula for any thing that comes to me. How can a society give a formula that this is how you will completely forget the loss? This rituals around, I don't say there shouldn't be rituals around the death, but understand besides those rituals, people will react differently, and we need to be accepting that difference of how they want to accept the loss and not push them towards just one way of experiencing the loss. This pressure to fit into and accepting the loss in a specific way is more destructive than helping the individual experience their loss. I would love to have feedbacks. Thank you.